What up, y'all? The Jeff Wilson. Today on Jeff Does What, we have the Gluwphy GM-10 diode laser. Now, as diodes become more and more popular, a lot of people can't have the open gantry diodes. And there's more and more popping onto the market. And today, we're going to check out the newest player to the game, and that's Gluwphy. I assume I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not quite sure, but based on the spelling, I believe that is how it is. Now, this thing is all nicely packaged in here. Actually, I'm going to have to cut down my box because this thing is packed in here real well where it's hard to get out. And like I said, it is a nice fully enclosed unit. Now, as you see, everything inside here is all nicely packed up, so that way we're not having to worry about the laser being all tossed around, messed up. There's even more hiding off inside. And lots of styrofoam in there. Now, as we're looking inside, as you see, we do have a air filter right off over there, which will help put clean air out, and that way you're not getting a lot of the smells throughout your house where all that smoke's just going out. We'll see how much that does, but anytime there's any sort of air filter on there, the better. Now, as we start to look into the Gluwphy, we have this nice 10-watt diode laser, which 10 watt, like I said, for majority of the stuff you're going to be doing, this right here is going to be able to accomplish anything you're wanting it to do. Now, as far as our work area inside of this, we have a 400 by 300 millimeter operating area, which is larger than most areas you work with. And it's, like I said, comparable to like the Xtool M1. This right here is a hair bigger than it. So just for size reference, that way you know that. Now, with this laser, the way everything is set up, we have this nice seal all the way around, and that is going to help stop your light pollution from coming out. So that way, whenever you are doing this, you do not have to wear safety glasses, because there is nowhere for light to get out. And as I touched on earlier, like I said, we do have filters inside. Like I said, this is a charcoal and paper filter on there. So that is going to help cut down on your fumes. Not to mention, it is vented with fans, so that way we are able to exhaust the exhaust out of the building. Now, as we zoom in to take a look at the laser, we do see we have this nice crosshair, and if you look right over here, that is actually a sensor to help find your offset. So when you're not having to sit there and use blocks or something like that, we are able to, in Lightburn, set this up for the autofocus on the machine. Another pro about this machine, this is only $599. That is a whole lot cheaper than majority of your enclosed units. That is something to think about right there, which makes it more and more DIY friendly as far as that price point. So you're getting down there, and the process, there's a lot of my open gantry lasers that cost way more than this. We got a nice sealed unit that we'll be able to bring inside the house and not have to worry about light getting out, especially if we got kids or pets around. Because I know a lot of times I have to let my dogs outside of my shop because they're wanting to stare at the laser, and I don't want my dogs to go even more blind than what they already are. So keep that in mind, as well as what you're thinking about when you're looking at different lasers. Even as I'm filming this, Gabby decided to come up and she wanted to check out the laser as well. And Jackson's around here. He's off walking around, but he's just doing what he normally does. Now, as we get everything set up in Lightburn, we're showing you that autofocus. Once it's programmed in, it is able to find that exact spot you need to be for whatever material you have loaded off in here, which I definitely like a whole lot. And because there's not many diodes that have that on the market, and especially at this price point. Now, to start things off, I got just a small piece of wood in there that we're going to sit here and do just some basic cutting on there. So we're going to frame everything out, and once we have it framed out, I gotta go turn my air on, because that's the only thing I don't like so far. Is it's not integrated, it's not controllable by Lightburn, but that's a whole nother thing. Let me get the air turned on and we'll do some cutting. Now, you already know, with most 10-watt lasers, we're not going to have any issues on it cutting stuff out. All this is cut out. I'm just trying not to break the pieces pushing it out. All these nice small letters, crisp, clean, but we already knew it was going to do that. All right, so for our next project, I have this right here. This is basic. It's almost cardboard, but not quite cardboard. A little more stronger, more dense. Not strong, more dense. I'm going to sit here and engrave a photorealistic picture on there so we can see what type of detail we can get out of here. And I just like engraving pictures on diode lasers because the detail you can get from most, it's just amazing. Now, even though I just got a brand new camera, the one thing I don't like about enclosed units is I can't get you good video of it actually running so you can see how well it works as far as creating that image. I am going to try to look and maybe trying to find another old GoPro or something. I used to have one somewhere around here that I can put off in these units. I just got to figure out where I hid it for myself because I stopped using it years ago when I got that Sony ZV-1 and haven't really looked for it. And I don't want to put that Sony ZV-1 off in here either because it's too nice of a camera to sit there and let it take the abuse of all that smoke or whatever these machines are producing. But we're going to let it do this thing right here. This image I have on here, it's going to take about 30 minutes. And like I said, it's about, I'm guessing 7 inches long, probably about 5 inches tall, somewhere around in there. But we'll be right back. All right, y'all. This thing has been engraving. Look at that. All that cool detail. And I like the way it looks on this brown background. Like I said, we got a nice actual little texture where you can feel the grass, feel the bark on there. Hopefully it's coming in nice and clean for y'all. But that's one of these things with these diodes, you can get such great images with them without even trying. Like I said, this is just some image I found online. Didn't run through no converter or anything like that. All I did, just imported it into Lightburn. It automatically turned it into a black and white image. And we burnt it right there. Now for this next thing I'm going to do on this machine, I'm going to bust out the acrylic. I always like doing acrylic. This acrylic's generally a pretty good seller for me because I make a lot of keychains or just random stuff with this. And it's great little trinkets or something to sell to your customers because they're always looking for something to hand out. And if it's something you can make real easy with minimum effort, it's always a good day for that. Well, let's get this loaded up and get some more stuff going on this laser. All right, so we done got the acrylic all engraved and cut out. Nice, shiny by the machine. We're able to get real nice detail. Like I said, and the font I use, like I said, it is pretty sort of a grungy feel to it. I mean, it's the name of the font's hard grunge. So there's a lot of distortion in it. I can't think of the exact word I'm wanting to use on there, but it does a great job with that. With us doing small stuff like that, the machine came with little dog tags. Let's go on and get one of these loaded up and get one of these engraved out. And just like that. Nice sort of zebra printish. Got a little off-centered in there, but I ain't gonna do anything with this anyway. But engraved nicely on this stainless, which removing powder coating, we knew that was gonna happen. It's nice and smooth. I ain't even wiped this off yet. And it's just something to think about. This machine, any small trinket stuff, especially for the DIYer, this is something you're going to want right here. Like I said, because it makes stuff so easy, simple. You're able to contain everything where you're not having to worry about a lot more of the stuff around you. The only thing you really got to do is take this vent right here and have it vented out of the building somewhere. Like I said, because it does have this filter. As you see, it picked up quite a bit. It's pretty dirty in there. Like I said, it's got that charcoal. No idea how much the replacements cost of this, how long they'll actually last. But still, that's better than nothing on there compared to majority of the lasers out there on the market. You got to buy some huge separate filtration separate where, yeah, that's not a lot, but that's better than 90% of the other ones on the market. Now with the Gluwphy 10-watt diode laser, like I said, this thing ran these few little jobs, no problem. Like I said, we got full engraving there. We got a nice little wood cutout, which I ended up painting and gluing on a separate board. We got acrylic. We did some powder coated stainless. This machine handled all of it with no problem, which I knew it would. I mean, these diodes, these companies got this down to a T anymore. Like I said, where this thing stands out to me, we got a fully enclosed laser for $699. That right there is $1,000 cheaper than my Falcon 2 Pro. And then all the safety stuff that's involved in it, like your e-stops, your air filters, your fire sensors, they're all there in this nice little enclosure that is sealed up tight. Like I said, I never once had any sort of smoke coming out of this to fill up my shop. So that right there is a huge plus right there. Because some of these machines, that does happen quite a bit. Now, like I said, a lot of these companies are getting a lot better, but that's great seal on there. And everything that comes with it, like I said, you got your built-in air. Well, I say built-in air. It's got air on it, has your air pump. We got the honeycomb in there. Them two items alone right there always help out the quality of your cutting on diodes, because anytime you can push something through without hitting a wall, which would be a tabletop or something like that, where that laser can actually go all the way through and fully penetrate. And I hope the thunder isn't coming too loud through on this, because it is pouring rain right now. But anytime you can get the diode laser to go all the way through whatever you're cutting, always results in a better outcome, a cleaner cut. You don't have the burn marks on the top side and the bottom side just going all over the place. So it means less sanding to get your finished product, if it's something you're sanding to paint, or even just sanding just to do away with the black marks in general on there. It helps out so much. And like I said, decent size area in here. Like I said, I have no real complaints on this machine, with the exception of one. These right here you hear them rubbing on there. Whenever it's pushed all the way back, it's constantly rubbing, and you can hear that. That's just personal issues, because I just don't want to hear the loom or anything rubbing. Like I said, it's in wire loom, so you don't have to worry about it messing up the cords or anything like that, because it's going to take a long time to actually eat through that wire loom that they have on there. But that's just personal preference. Like I said, it's got a great height to it, so you are able to get fairly decent sized objects in here. And there are a few adjustments you can do to probably get a little bit more out of it. Like I said, with this being fully enclosed, there is no pass through or anything like that. So they do have a bigger area for you to work with, which I like seeing. I would sometimes maybe like a little pass through, but if I'm going to start doing something big, I have CO2s over there that I'm going to go to anyway. This right here is more for the DIY hobby side of me. Hey, if you can right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. It definitely helps the channel out. Now, before this video gets too long on here, I do plan to bust this back out. I got a few little other projects I want to test out on here to see how well it does, and just to show you more of the hobby DIY side you can do with this little compact machine. Like I said, I think it's going to be great for someone getting into lasering that has kids or pets or anything like that and don't want their house smoked out. It's, like I said, a fully enclosed unit, $699. That price is hard to get past, because like I said, most of my lasers cost more than that, and they're open gantry. So, and they do have other power watts. Like I said, this right here, I got the 10 watt just because I don't have a whole lot of 10 watts in here, and most people, that's all they're going to want anyway. And so I figured I'd test out it before we're trying to go something bigger or smaller. Like I said, I try to at least do 10 or 20 watt, but like I said, we went with the 10 watt on this just to see what it can show y'all, because I guarantee this is what majority of the people are going to go for. Due to the fact we're able to cut out wood and acrylic on here. And most of the time, the materials you buy off of Amazon or wherever you buy them, whether it be Amazon, Great Carve, through, I don't know if Gluwphy carries materials or not, but if it's even through them, the materials aren't going to, you're not going to be sitting a half-inch sheet of plywood in here to cut out. Now, we'll do it probably, but that's not what this is geared for. This is meant for them small little projects, DIY stuff that makes your day go by better. Now, till next time, y'all take it easy.